from Draymond Green at the podium.
What do you feel like went wrong defensively to start that first quarter?
I think we were really bad in transition. We get matched up. They got loose, hit some shots, and then they just had it going.
Steve mentioned at half that he kind of had a conversation with you about how much to chase it in the second half, how much not to. What was kind of your calculation there? And I mean, do you believe, I don't know how many minutes you finished at tonight, but do you believe that could maybe help a little bit going into Friday?
I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, it's not ideal to play that amount of minutes because if we're winning, play way more. But, yeah, we had a quick conversation, and he was just saying, I don't think we should chase it. I said, cool. We'll give it 5-6 minutes. We can't turn it fast and pull the plug.
Draymond, they weren't playing whoop that trick, but does this remind you at all of the Memphis Game 5 when kind of the same thing happened? And is one of the benefits of your guys having so much playoff experience that there's like a comp for almost everything?
Yeah, you kind of seeing everything. They weren't playing whoop that trick, but they may as well have been. But, at this point in our careers, we've seen it all, had all the experiences, so you got something to draw back on. But, yeah, they played a good game. But whether they win by 1 or 50, it's a playoff series. It counts as one win.
Draymond, Steve mentioned he noticed that defenders, when they're closing out, they're trying to almost hit Steph's thumb as he's shooting. Have you noticed that, or how much have you seen that, especially in these playoffs?
Yeah, I noticed it. I think it's pretty obvious, but it is what it is. Yeah.
Do you think the league should crack down on it at all?
I'm not one to come to cry to you about what the league should do. I see enough people cry about me, and I lose respect for those people when they cry about me, so I would not allow somebody to lose respect for me over that. It's all good.
What can you say about the bench's fight for you guys tonight?
That was huge. Just them coming in, playing the way they played, forced their starters to have to get back in the game. Gave us a run at it. Had it down 11 with multiple times to get it under 10. Just didn't work out, but I thought our bench did an incredible job of coming in and continuing the fight and making their presence felt in this series.
Draymond, I saw you on the sideline talking to coaches. You and Jimmy were talking at one point. Steph's talking to Steve. How much are you guys already were trying to figure out things for, Game 6?
Yeah, we turned the page quick and just started talking about possible adjustments that we can make, things we see, stuff we can get into. But yeah, we flipped the page really fast.
You feel like those conversations were productive in terms of adjustments for the next game?
You'll tell me after the next game.
What was your reaction at the end when Pat and Trace got into it with Şengün?
It's beautiful. You don't back down from anybody, and they didn't. So I like it.
And Draymond, you're a true competitor. Y'all don't back down from anything. Can you just kind of talk about the competitiveness that you've seen out of Jimmy Butler and what he's added to the roster?
Oh, man, he's changed our season. He's the reason we're here right now with a 3-2 lead, going home with an opportunity to close out. Just the toughness that he's brought, the smarts, the competitive fire, and then obviously he's just a great basketball player. So he's brought a lot to this team, and, we're going to make sure we capitalize on it.
Curry's thoughts.
How early? Steve seemed to think like the 3 fouls early was a bad sign about how focused you guys were defensively. How early did you know it might be this type of night?
That was a tough stretch because we started the game, I don't know if it was 8-2 or something like that. Had a couple good possessions, hit some threes. And then the game kind of halted they got in the bonus in 4.5 minutes. So, one hand, they were the aggressor. The first 3 fouls were, I guess they were fouls and it kind of set the tone. And then, they got confidence, went on a run, got the crowd into it early, and the desperate team, set the tone. So for us, we understand how to negate that going into Game 6 and come out with a better effort in that first 6 minutes and set the tone our way.
Steph, how much does this remind you of Memphis, the Game 5 in Memphis 3 years ago? And is one of the beauties of all your playoff experience that you have basically a comp for every scenario?
Yeah, there's definitely something you could look back on part of the journey, but that's all well and great to talk about. You have to go do something about it on the court. And, we talked about our group is trying to do this for the first time together. And I love that challenge because, we have an opportunity to, write our own story and how we bounce back. And we've had a pretty, resilient group over the last 2 months, and it has to show on Friday.
How cognizant are you about the way that they're closing out on your jump shot, particularly, swiping down on your thumb?
You don't think about it. If it's a foul, they should call it. That's it. If it's a foul, they should call it.
Steph, you were talking about getting off to a good start. How much of that do you feel like is on you to do? Even
On
though
the what?
on you, like how much of a getting the right energy and urgency is on you, even though they're kind of, playing the kitchen sink defense against you?
Yes, it's a balance. I think we have some things that we can do going into Game 6 to get more organized and get a better rhythm offensively, whether it's me taking shots or not. But I did notice tonight was an even more concerted effort. Thompson got me twice at half court when I was trying to set up a play, worrying about, everything that was going on behind and not worrying about him. And then there were a couple possessions where you get downhill and you see a lot of white jerseys. So you just got to figure out where the driving angles are. We need to get Jimmy more involved in the half court with the right spacing around him. And then, we all got to make shots. So it is on me to balance all of that and, put some points on the board and get ourselves some rhythm early.
Steph, following up on Danny's question, Steve was asked about Brooks swiping down and basically said it's a league-wide issue. The league allows it after the shot's released, and teams everywhere do it, and the league needs to address it in the offseason. What do you think about the larger question of contact after release?
There's a pattern of when is full extension, when is what's the full point of release? Because it's hard for a ref. I get it. You're trying to look at the body, look at the release, where contact is. There's a subtle difference in how certain people do it. That when I say if it's a foul, it's a foul. But other than that, as a player, you can't worry about it too much because whether you get the call or not, if you complain or you can complain. If you dwell on it and get distracted by it, then you're not worried about making shots. I'm trying to do both.